welcome back to another episode of the Soup Bowl. I am your host, Renee Murdoch, and I am happy today. I'm happy every day. Maybe not every moment, but I'm happy. Today that you are liking, that you are sharing, that you're listening, and most importantly, that we are going on this journey together because we were never meant to do life alone. So hey, we just doing it. We in this thing. Because we know that when we lead our life, it gets messy, right? When we get in the Super Bowl, anything is about to happen. Why we out here in these streets? You know what I'm talking about? Like, you have a plan for the day, and then that plan be planning, and somebody else be planning, and then now your plan is no longer the plan that you had planned. That's kind of what happened to me yesterday. Right? And so I was just like, I am like literally 2 hours off my schedule. It did something to me. It did something to me. Taught me a lesson. Taught me a lesson. Everything should be teaching you something. Okay? Like my little person always says, you're always trying to make everything a lesson. No. Life is a lesson. So while you're living, you're always going to be getting lessons. Now, it's whether it's up to you or not, whether you want to pass the lesson or not, or you want to just do it again, right? It's like the teacher telling you, like, do it again. Nope, you still like, here's it again. I need you to do it again. Okay, nope, you're still not getting it. Nobody wants to do that, right? Nobody wants to do that. All right, so what are we talking about today? So we're talking about, again, facing your fears. We are on part 2 of this, discussion about really why are we allowing fear, right, to hold us back? Why are we allowing fear to dictate our lives, keeping us from, divine moments, divine opportunities, and our purpose in our life? Because that's exactly what fear does. And so we're talking about facing our fears. How do we do that? Right? What is actually going on when it comes to our fears? So first we must recognize, right, that we have a fear of something. We cannot deny it. We can't be like, oh, well, that's just the way it's going to be, and it's just like that for the rest of my life. No, it doesn't have to be like that for the rest of your life. I come to tell you, it does not have to be like that for the rest of your life. You are making a choice, whether you want to live in fear or whether you want to live in purpose. Okay. Right? That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're making a choice. So last week, we talked about fear being a natural response, and it is, right? So fear does teach us things. It's not always a bad thing. It's just the negative part of it in which we tend to allow ourselves not to move forward, right, in the things that, quote unquote, may fear us, right? So having fear is an automatic process that helps us survive, right? So we're literally looking at something that's like, oh snap, we need to get out of here because we're in danger, right? And so it helps us escape threats. It helps us escape threats. So one point that I brought up last week where I was talking about fear, right, being a warning sign. It's not so much of a bad thing, but it can be a warning sign. It's just whether we're listening to it or not. It's the way that we're looking at fear, whether we can allow it, right, to do what it do in our lives. Again, it's not just a bad thing, but it's how we're treating it. Because most of the time in the world, we are allowing it to not take out the threat, but to live with the threat. That's something right there, especially the day and time in which we are in. We're allowing fear to live rather than taking it out. Because you can take out fear if you want to take it out. But we're deciding, oh, we're just going to live here. We're just going to live among the thieves. We're going to live. That's basically what we're saying. Would you literally live with a murderer? Would you live, knowing, right, that this person wants to kill you every single day? I don't think you would. Not that I think, I know you would not. But that's exactly the way fear is. We're allowing it to live among us and accepting it. Well, I'm just always going to be afraid of heights. And so since I'm afraid of heights, I can't get on the airplane. Or that airplane, there's nothing underneath it. And so if it goes down, I'm gone. I'm gone. But you could be gone sitting in your house. You could be gone, walking across the street. You could be gone going to the grocery store. You could be gone. Like, you don't know the day nor the hour, okay, when will be your last breath on the earth. But so we allow these things like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to prevent my death. But actually, you're dying every day. You're dying every day. Especially when you're living in fear. Yeah. So we talked about what fear is costing us, right? You'll never see the world if you're not going to get on a plane. You'll never find love if you refuse to be vulnerable, right? And you'll never succeed and meet those goals if you're too afraid to start, because you're coming up with all these scenarios. Oh, what would happen if you start? Fear. Fear is very expensive. And why is it expensive? Because it's costing us opportunities. It's costing us divine connections. And it's costing us our purpose. See, when I leave this earth, I got to a point where I said, I want to fulfill everything that I'm supposed to be here on the earth to do. Whatever that may look like, I'm going to have to remove fear out of my life so I can fulfill purpose. That means I got to move some things aside. I got to face fear head on. I got to face it head on. I got to leave past experiences behind. I got to leave the naysayers behind. I got to leave the negativity behind. I have to leave the lies behind. Because in reality is, they were not factual. They were lies. But I allowed the lie to write my story when I could have took the facts and allowed that to write the story. But the good thing about writing a story is that it can be rewritten. It can be rewritten. We can continue to add chapters onto it. So that's what I'm doing. I am adding chapters onto the story of my life, living without fear, facing fear head on, not using it as a stumbling block, not using it as a barrier, but using it as a warning of, oh, there's my purpose, there's my passion. Oh, you try to keep me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I got you. I'm going to just go ahead and just jump into this thing. I'm going to take fear by the storm. And I'm going to ride that storm. Because guess what? Storms don't always last. They don't always last. They're not 365 days of the year. They're just not. So the great thing about it is that we can write a new story. So what's your story going to be? What is your story going to be? See, fear is not our enemy, but it's actually a guide. It's a guide, a warning. So, okay. So we talked about that. That was just like a little small snippet of what last week's part 1 was. And as we move into part 2, we didn't really get into it. But we need to look at, like, what's the steps to overcoming fear? How do we really start doing the work that needs to be done to overcome it? Because you're just not going to wake up one day and be like, oh, I am no longer afraid to fly. I am no longer afraid of public speaking. I am no longer afraid of getting my words out there, or writing a book, or making a class, or singing a song, or wanting to be in movies and commercials and do photography and things of that nature. But you're not going to just wake up. What's going to happen is that you're still going to be thinking about it, And you're also going to be making excuses of why it can't be done, which is really the fear. So how do we actually do this? How do we stop allowing fear to control our lives? Let's talk about that. So number one, trust that you are taken care of by God. You may have a different belief, that's okay. But this is mine. This is me. Trust that you are taken care of by God. Fear often stems from feeling like we're not in control. It's like we got to control everything. But when you know that your life is in the hands of a loving God, not a forceful God, not a God that wants bad things to happen to us. Oh, see, they didn't get that right. Let me go ahead and see what's going to happen to them. Take them out. Like, no, that's not what's happening. God has a deep love for his creation. He has deep love. And there's a deep peace that he provides to us in place of fear. So you can say, I don't have to know everything, right? How everything will work out. I just have to trust that it will. See, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen, right? You heard that before, right? I don't know what time it's going to go down, but it's going to go down. So I don't have to know how it's going to work out. I just need to trust and know that it is going to work out. God will provide. God will provide. God will provide. This is not a passive thing, but it's powerful. It's faith. And faith and fear. Faith and fear cannot live in the same place. Going back to the example that I talked about earlier. I know that this person is out to kill me, but I allow them to stay in my home. What's going to be happening with that dynamic? Right? Why would I just easily allow someone into my home knowing that they want to kill me? Or knowing that they go around killing people, but oh, they're never going to kill me? I mean, we saw movies like that before, even heard stories about that. You know, with some really mentally disturbed people. But why would I just allow fear to take up space in my home when I have the authority to not allow it to happen? It's my home. I love this. This is my home. This is mine. I am the one that gets to decide what resides in my home. So if I don't get rid of it, it's because I'm allowing it to be there. This is my home. Nobody else. I have the responsibility to take care of my home. That's so good. That is so good. That's so good to me. No one else can take care of my home unless I allow them to. That's allowing something to control me. Someone allowing who can come and who can go and when and why and how they can stay. It's my home. I know parents used to say, oh, they can't wait till their children get older so then they can go to their home and they can do all sorts of things at their home that they were doing at their home. And majority of parents, right, or videos that we see, right, the child is like, you need to pick that up. I cannot believe they came over here and did all that. But they did the same behavior, right, when they were at their parents' household, but then they come there, right? So, but the thing about it is that they're saying something because the way they want it lined up, right, in their home, and someone comes in and they try to do the total opposite of the things that they have in place, they're saying something about it. So why is it that we don't take that same concept when it comes to our home? When it comes to our home. Am I going to allow fear to reside here? The answer should be no. Then let's do some work. Number 2, meditate on what is good and lovely. What you focus on is what's going to grow. If I'm focused on not being able to get to Guatemala because I can't get on the airplane, and the reason why I can't get on the airplane is because I'm afraid of heights, and every time I see a picture of a height or something like that, it just, does something to me, it's going to grow more and more. So why am I going to keep my focus there? Why can't my focus be on reading the beautiful history and culture of that country? Start reading about the things, to see and where to go. I'm going to think on those good things. I'm going to listen to people's experience that have done videos in regards to going there. If you're constantly feeding your mind with fear-based thoughts, what if I fail? What if something goes wrong? What's going to happen if? Your fear will only grow more. But when you meditate on what's good, it's good right here. What's possible, what's beautiful, your hope grows instead. And that's what we need. We need our hope to grow, or we're not going to go. Let's spit these rhymes. I be spitting these rhymes. I am nothing like Jackie. I'm nothing like Jackie Perry. Okay, but I do be spitting these rhymes. So. I just gotta laugh at myself. But your hope grows, right? And if your hope is not growing, then you're not going. You're not going nowhere. You're not going anywhere. So if you start your day with affirmation and you fill your environment with positivity, reading scriptures, meditating, journaling, right? Surrounding yourself with people who will lift you up versus bring you down. Like every time you bring up, I don't know if you should do that because you know what happened to such and such. Remember that family that took the trip to Canada and so, they went on the trip and they was going there or whatever, and this is what happened to them? I do not need to be talking to you. Because every time I say something, you always got to come back with something negative. No, I need people around me that are going to be speaking life and things that are truthful, not holding me back for where I need to be going. That's too much negativity. It's too much negativity in the world. That's why I got to think on things that's beautiful. Think on the things that's lovely. Think on the things that's possible. Our limitation only comes from our mindset. It's our mindset. And that's why it's so important in how we are thinking. If we got stinky thinking, then what we gonna get? A stinky product. Nobody don't want no stinky product. Who want to be carrying around boo-boo all day? Raise your hand. Who carrying around boo-boo all day long? Who's sleeping with boo-boo? Who's eating with boo-boo? Right? No, you're not doing that. So why? All right, number 3. Number 3, let your life be ordered by love. Love is stronger than fear. Love is stronger than fear. Love is stronger than fear. Let love be the reason why you're doing what you're doing. Love for your purpose. Love for your purpose. Meaning, love yourself. You gotta love yourself. If you're not loving yourself, then you're living in fear. Love others. What it says, treat others as you want to be treated. Love others. Love for your future. If you love yourself, you're going to go after purpose. If you love yourself, you're going to love others. If you love yourself, you can begin to see the future. Because you got a part in it. You're writing the story. You are writing the story. And although there's two people, because you're co-authoring, you're part of the story. And how it plays out is really upon you. When your life is led by love, then guess what's happening? There's no longer fear. Fear got to get to the rear. See, I told you I'd be spitting these rhymes. I'd be spitting these rhymes. Okay, let me stop playing. But you got to think about it though, for real. That a parent, right, who runs into danger to save their child. They're not fearless, but love gives you courage. Like you're going to do something, right, with by love, it is giving you courage. I love that statement. I love my future enough that I'm not going to allow fear to lead me, but I'm going to allow love to lead me. And not fear. Not fear. Let love give you the courage you need to go into the future. Being all that you can be. Remember that was the Army saying? Be all that you can be. I think there's another line before. In the Army. I just remember that little jingle of growing up. So, be all that you can be. You can. You can be all that you can be in this world. But if you allow fear to lead you, then you're not going to be all that you can be. You're going to be just a mere smaller version because you're really living based upon fear and not off of love. So number 4, face your fear head on. That's the only way that you're going to begin to walk this out. As fear has been weighing us down, no, we're going to switch it. Almost like in a wrestling match, right? You're switching up. You're switching up positions when you face fear head on. And let me tell you why. There's no way around this one. There's no way. That's why I brought up the last one. There's no way to get around doing this. There's no way of really putting fear in the back seat without doing this. The only way to get over fear is to actually go through it. Remember I talked about writing? Well, I had to write it. Talking about, putting my words out there for my thoughts out there for other people to possibly see and how I think. Well, I had to do it. I had to put it out there. The fear of being seen. I had to do some posts. I had to post and start posting with pictures and things. Because I did not like the way that I looked, which kept me for one of the things that I wanted to do, which was to do some modeling. But fear kept me from that because I was told that I was a stick, I was skinny, I was black, I was ugly, my smile was too big. And so I didn't. I didn't go after that. I didn't go after, the big screen and television. But I wanted to. That's what I wanted to do. So I just went back and did something else. But facing our fears head on, that is what's going to get you to your expected end. So if you're afraid to speak, guess what? You're going to have to start doing some videos. And you're going to have to start posting them. Or you're going to have to be taking some opportunities where you can facilitate a meeting. You have to start. You have to start. You afraid to travel and get on an airplane? Well, first of all, don't start off with a 12, 16-hour flight. Don't do that. That's not wise. Maybe you start off with a short flight. And then you keep taking another short flight. And then you take another flight. And then before you know it, you're on longer flights. You got to start. Are you afraid to fail? Well, you're going to have to start sometime. Start small. Work your way up. Work your way up. We want things just to happen overnight in every part of our life. We're like what they say, the microwave generation. We want it instantaneously. No one wants to do work. We are lazy people because we don't want to do the necessary work. You didn't get like this yesterday. And so you trying to come out of it tomorrow, and it's not happening. You got to retrain your mind. And that takes time. Because, again, the environment, your experiences is the reason why you're thinking the way that you're thinking, which is stinky. So you must go through this. You must go through this. You can't wait for fear to go away because it's not. It's not going nowhere. It's just going to stay there. You're the one that's going to have to move it away. You're the one that's going to have to face it. You're the one that's going to have to do the work every day. And when you begin to do that, that's when transformation begins to happen. It ain't happening. You're not transforming unless you're willing to do some work. A house don't get remodeled without somebody putting in some work. There's a thought of a remodel, and guess what? It's always going to be a thought. That's a part of fear taking control. Fear dictating where we go. So I want to leave you with this because we're basically out of time. You were not created to be in a small life. You were not meant to stay stuck in fear. There is so much more to you. There is so much more joy. There is so much more meaning in life. But when you put fear in the backseat, you can experience that freedom. You can experience that joy. You can experience purpose and passion. Oh, come on. But you got to be brave enough to go after it. So whatever your fear is today, I want you to look it in the eye and say, you are not the boss of me. I'm doing this anyway. See what I'm talking about? Oh, I see it. I see you. You ain't going to have me in the back seat. Nah, bruh. You get back there. You are stronger than what you think. And you are braver than what you're feeling right now. And most importantly, you are not alone in this. You're not the only one that had to go through this. You think Oprah was not afraid at some point in her life? And maybe still afraid of even some things because there's always so much more? We never have arrived. We've never arrived. So that's what I was saying in the beginning. I want to fulfill all things that I'm supposed to on this earth. No longer allowing fear to hold me back. No longer. Can that be your declaration today? I will no longer allow fear to hold me back. And fear, you are not the boss of me because I'm going to do this anyway. That's why I'm doing this podcast. I'm going to do it anyway. Regardless of how many people watch, regardless of how many people listen, I'm going to do it anyway. Because it's time to open up my mouth and begin to speak the truth of a matter. And begin to share. And to see where your heart is at. And begin to build community. Fear, you're not the boss of me. We're not doing this. We're not doing it no more. We're not doing it. But thank you so much. We got to get up out here. Thank you so much for spending time with me on today. Right? Talking about facing our fears. If this episode has spoken to you in any way, I would love to get your feedback. I would love to even help you walk this out. I'm a professional coach. We can do this thing together. You do not have to send it alone, do it alone. So please send me a message, right? Go to www.formosaic.com where you can hit me up. We can talk, or you can get with me on my socials. Okay, and we can talk about this. We can put a plan in place. I can walk this out with you. If you are willing to do the work. So, again, share this with a friend. Tag me on social media, right? And let me know what fear you're facing and how you're choosing to rise above it. And one of those things could be, I'm going to reach out to Renee and get some coaching sessions. But remember, don't let fear write your story. You write your story. Be courageous and be brave. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, keep moving forward, face your fear every single day, and don't allow it to face you. Do know that leading is teachable. And until next time, I love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it.